Hold on to your controller. We're bringing you 10 hot games and jammin' tips. Everything you've always wanted to know about playing, but were too cool to ask. Slammed into 30 minutes. On this Twitch, a metal machine on a maze of manic mountains. Hit Mach speed with Ridge Racer. You'll be digging Earthworm Jim in a dirty classic flashback. And take a shot at Panzer Dragoon. Watch your brain hit the third dimension. Let's Twitch. First up, fighting games.
Bruce Lee was a kung fu army of one, fighting his way through piles and piles of bad guys using only his body and his mind. He was a true original. It was his style, his finesse, and his moves, and nothing else. He didn't need any gimmicks, any props, any tricks. He's Bruce Lee. And I bet you if Bruce were alive today, he would be playing Sega Saturn's Virtua Fighter Remix. Anyone who loved the arcade original and sunk a couple tons of quarters into the machine will thrill with this home version. If you're looking for fancy weapons, supernatural fireballs, or cyborg battle armor, check out this fight early, Fantasy Boy. Because of the 8 fighters in this game, the rules are simple. Using your body, your brains, and your moves, it's the first one to be knocked out of the ring or just knocked out loses. Simple. KO. And winner takes all. This remix offers all the moves you'd ever need. Fist to the stomach, knee to the chest, foot to the head, fist to the head, foot to the stomach. You'll get bruises just watching. And if you need more variety, check out these moves. Clothesline, knee drop, flying butt slam, the giant swing, or just chase him out of the ring. Ring out. Even the background's kept far more simple than most fighting games, reflects Virtua's focus on the fighting and not the frills. Besides, if you're looking at the scenery, you're going to be staring at the ground. Hey, get good enough and soon you'll find yourself face to face with this big boss who wants to kick your butt. But if you beat him, you'll find yourself in a special ranking that will allow you to keep track of your stats versus various opponents. Hey, check out this fighting game. You'll make Bruce proud.
Leapin' Lizards. Crystal Dynamics has put together one excellent adventure game with Gex. Once the gregarious gecko is sucked into the nasty TV world of the evil Rez, you're going with him, and there's no turning back. The elaborately detailed levels and the awesome animation could win this a 3DO beauty pageant. To escape Rez's bizarre realm, you must collect remote controls throughout the levels.
Go in here.
Gex rewards curious gamers with deep levels if they venture off the beaten path. Each of the worlds is loaded with out-of-the-way warps that bring you bonus games and areas with power-ups and extra golden flies. The Fantastic Sounds has much to owe to comedian Dana Gould, who wrote the lines and provides Gex's voice. There are so many rapid-fire one-liners, you'll be hard-pressed to hear the same joke twice.
That's what I call getting some tail.
The wiry, squirrely lizard can climb almost anything on the screen. Now, learning what textures Gex can cling to will cost you time and lives, but once you got the hang of it, you really get into the groove of jumping from one wall to the other.
I'm hungry, damn it! I'm so hungry. Someone ring the dinner bell!
Gex can gain the ability to spit fireballs, ice balls, and even lightning bolts. And as usual, at the end of each level, you face a boss who blocks your way until you show him what geckos are really made of. Gex is destined to become the equivalent of Sonic or Mario, as this cool little lizard sets the standard for all future platformers.
Twitch tip, right from the source. The game makers for Primal Rage at San Francisco's Time Warner Interactive.
If you want to get the volleyball game, this is what you do. You go to the Sauron stage, which is where the beach is, and you kick a human up into the air and you throw him back and forth 10 times between the two players without touching the ground, and all of a sudden a volleyball net will magically appear in the middle of the screen, and you'll be able to play volleyball right there. And that's the secret.
Okay, this is just too cute. A meteor crashed on your hometown, somehow leading to the end of the Earth as you know it. Your mission, as a tiny tot of power, is to gather your many friends and defeat the bad guys before bedtime, or something like that, in Nintendo's Earthbound for Super NES. Although Earthbound boasts all the classic RPG elements, it's framed around a very childlike interface. The saving graces are the decent music and unintentionally hilarious adult humor. The control is standard RPG fare. A menu system enables you to choose items, spells, and more. Here's a tip. Never ever pass up a butterfly without touching it. God, that sounds like a Hallmark card. The beautiful winged bug will recharge all your psi energy. The lack of a convincing storyline and the dull NES clone graphics will make serious RPG fans a little cautious about approaching Earthbound. The jokes are fun, but probably over the heads of the age group who'd most enjoy this.
You talk about sports all the time like you're some kind of expert. So-and-so's a bum. They ought to trade him. My team would be world champs. Well, now's the time to put up or shut up. With Electronic Arts Triple Play 96, you're going to find out how good you really are. This game is so loaded with options and graphics, it's like a true baseball experience. Start off at the game menu screen. Warm up in an exhibition game, start a new season, or pick up where you left off in an ongoing season, or go directly to a playoff or championship series. You can even play in an all-star game. You have 28 pro teams to choose from, each with a complete roster of real Major League players with 9 different statistical ratings. Fine-tuned by trading, substituting, signing, and releasing players. And if you don't like the players, create your own. Triple Play allows 4 players at a time. The game screen displays all your vital information, position of the runners, pitching speed, the count, the batting order, and individual player and game stats. On the mound, you can have your pitchers throw 12 different styles of pitches. Each pitcher has a specialty pitch that can really nail you. Watch the pitcher's fatigue. If he gets too low, the balls are going to start leaving the park. In the outfield, you can run after the ball. At bat, you can go for the high percentage hit, or just try to crush it out of the ballpark. Electronic Arts Triple Play 96 captures the essence of baseball. The only thing missing are the hot dogs and those crazy dancing mascots.
You've been having the same dream a lot lately. You're behind the wheel of a really fast car. A red one, yeah. And the handling, the scenery, the sounds, they're all so real. Everything moves so smoothly. Everything looks so detailed. Hey, maybe you weren't dreaming. Maybe it was real. Or maybe you were playing Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer for the Sony PlayStation looks so good and moves so fluidly, you might just need to pinch yourself and say, it's just a game. The first thing you'll notice when you're starting up the game is that the old arcade classic Galaga comes up on the screen. Enjoy yourself and reminisce about the good old days while your system boots up. Galaga proves to be an important feature. Your car? Pick from the 4 available. Each has different handling qualities and performance specifications. Remember Galaga? Get a perfect score on it and you'll have 8 more cars to choose from.
3, 2, 1.
The option screen allows you to keep track of your race records, or load up one of your own music CDs to listen to while you play. Once you hit the track, your blood is really going to start pumping. The displays for Ridge Racer are well laid out and functional. The controls are basic: steer, brake, accelerate, and shift. You can toggle between the full rear car view or the behind-the-wheel perspective. The scenery, the smooth graphics, and of course the challenge of Ridge Racer all fused together in a game that will leave you reeling. The only way you'll come close to getting this real is by strapping yourself to the hood of some dude's sports car. Ooh, suggestion, just play this game instead.
We went to the street to find out what you think, and here it is.
Fulgore, Killer Instinct. Nightwolf, Mortal Kombat 3.
I think Fulgore definitely wins just because he's a robot and Nightwolf is this little kind of Native American guy. So I think Fulgore would take his shooting thing and just kick his butt.
Nightwolf would win because he's got like a tomahawk and he just chop him up. It's like no contest.
It really is a brave new world. And here's the first of some brand new technologies. The latest video game releases without leaving your house. The Sega Channel. And here's how it works. You get the Sega Channel brain from your cable guys. Oh, by the way, you gotta have cable to make this device work. Hook your cable up to the Genesis, and this menu screen appears on your TV. And click. You select the type of game you want, then pick the exact game, and here it comes, downloaded right into your Genesis. A minute later, you get the game, just press start, and you're ready to roll. Every month, you get 50 different games anytime you want, and they even let you demo new games that haven't been released yet. So if you're gaming on the Genesis, call your local cable company and ask for the Sega Channel. They'll tell you how to get it. Excuse me, I gotta play this game.
What did you do today? Go to work? School? Were you shot at? Did you have to defend yourself from tank fire? Were planes flying around your head like Godzilla on a bad night? I don't think so. MechWarrior 3050 did. He's from the future, and he's from Super Nintendo. And he's ready to help you take on the world.
Thunder, Mars.
Pick whichever weapons you want for the warrior,
Thunder, Mars.
and then get out there and blast something. Everyone's against you, but hey, you're bigger than most of them, so keep your cool and keep your coolant. Not restoring your inner coolant can be as deadly as getting blasted to pieces, so watch it.
Overcharged.
Don't get too attached to any one gun. You can pick special weapons for special moments. These guys think they can hide behind a wall.
Enemy net approved.
Sorry. Get through one world, get the password, and get onto the new devastation. Visit a world where most of your enemies are about the size of ants and can be squished like the little pathetic pests that they are. Or head back to the Ice Age, where you can blast off Cold Scare, and then you can just let things slide. Cool. Get it? Ice. Cool. Whatever. When your radar's jammed, listen to what your weird-looking boss has to say. Your mission statements tell you a lot about what you're about to face. He might remind you to be careful. Not all your enemies are 98-pound weaklings. And if something as simple as a wall gets in your way, take it out. Don't forget, you're a mech warrior. Be tough. Be the MechWarrior 3050 from Super Nintendo. Proof you don't have to be the big guy to win a fight. But it sure.
How do you improve upon an instant arcade classic like Virtua Racing? Well, come along on this Twitch trip and you'll see how the Sega Saturn version races above and beyond the arcade.
Virtua Racing is a major arcade title, and so the opportunity to work on so visible a product is of course exciting, but also it's a challenge because you have even higher than usual standards for a consumer home product. Many times a home product you get to just dictate what you want, and you can't do that so much on Virtua Racing on an arcade title because there's already this game out there that people are used to seeing, and you have to get as close as you can to that. And so for our Virtua Racing, we had to have the arcade mode and be as faithful as possible to how it is played in the arcade and what it's like in the arcade. and there's a very high level of quality that you have to match there. But the nice thing is that we then get to expand on that and add our own features, probably the most prominent of which would be the Grand Prix mode, my personal favorite thing.
Since it's a home game, you have to add quite a bit more, and adding the 7 tracks was probably the hardest thing to do. We had to make all of them very different from each other, very different from the arcade, make them at least as interesting as the arcade tracks. Some of the tracks concentrate more on racing, where the tracks are fairly easy to drive. Some of the other tracks are very, very difficult, where you're braking and you're accelerating and you're trying to find the right line through corners, and on top of that, you got to worry about racing with the other cars. So I think we built up a nice progression from the easy tracks, where you just race, to the harder tracks, where you're basically trying to keep the car on the road.
Out of all the versions of the games, we come the closest to the look of the real arcade game.
Time Warner Interactive's VR virtual racing for the Saturn has all the classic arcade game features and the elements that players come to expect. 3D polygonal environment, a lightning-fast game engine, multiple racing views, and all-out driving fun. So check it out.
He's daring, athletic, articulate, and totally spineless. He's Earthworm Jim, the intrepid action-adventure nematode who's won the hearts of Super Nintendo and Genesis players, not to mention fishermen around the world, and inspired his own animated TV series. Now the wiggling superhero is back in Earthworm Jim Special Edition, developed by Shiny Entertainment for Sega CD. Alert the censors. In this special edition sublevel, we're exposed to full frontal Jim, springing about the screen nude as a dancer and showgirls, and twice as graceful.
I'm a rocket man.
After donning his indestructible super space cyber suit, Earthworm Jim shoots across the galaxy to battle for her bugness, Princess What's-Her-Name on planet Heck. You'll have to keep from laughing Jim's lives away while careening through mucus madness and flatulent free-for-alls. With hamster wrangling, mosquito blasting, and cow launching, Jim handles the mutant menagerie like a mad veterinarian on a bad day in Toontown. The amazing graphics, music, and sound effects are as slick as anything you'll find on Saturday morning cartoons. The CD's many secret power-ups and hidden areas keep you addicted to their tongue-in-cheek action, and the added passwords fix an old flaw in the cartridge versions. Shiny Entertainment has truly improved one of the most popular games out there for the Sega CD format. But if you find you can't get enough of this space crawler, collect the entire set of Earthworm Jim action figures, or maybe use them for bait.
Panzer Dragoon is your typical reluctant hero finds an armored flying blue dragon and must take to the air with advanced weaponry to save his world from destruction. With something more, full motion 3D action so good, you just might think you're flying on a blue dragon for your life. Okay, so maybe that's not so typical. Some have tagged Panzer as being the best game to come out on the Sega Saturn. And who am I to argue? From full motion video to 3D rendered episode openers, you know you're in for something special. The Skyrider takes a blast in the chest, and his dragon floats to the ground in front of you. You reach out to touch him, and through a mind link, he gives you your mission. Stop the Imperials from unleashing the horrible power of the Dark Dragon. Watch out for giant sandworms, killer water lilies, flying bosses, detachable two-part bosses, and more killer enemy ships than you have time to count. Since this is real-time 3D, you can rotate your perspective to help set up a surgical attack or just to get a better view. Keep your kill ratio up and you'll be rewarded with extra lives. The game is broken into 6 episodes with a secret level 0, with everything from water to trees to my favorite, the tunnel. Just watch out for those walls. But before you slap in this CD, be sure you have a sharp eye, a quick trigger, and a strong stomach. You're going to need a lot of fancy aerial moves to survive these missions. And this game doesn't come with a barf bag.
I don't see how they keep on doing it. They keep adding greater games, greater accessories, like this right here, the Arcade Racer by Sega Saturn. You Daytona fans are really gonna love this because it makes you feel like you're in the arcade, and you get several different views. Look at that. Games like Daytona USA aren't gonna be the same with this little bad boy.
Looking good.
Next week on Twitch, indulge your killer instinct without leaving your home. We'll get into a good fight. FIFA Soccer 95 teaches you to really kick it. And don't let the sun go down without taking aim at the ultimate shooter, Total Eclipse 2000.